Activision has been in the news for all the wrong reasons, between good old Bobby Kotick not being able to rein in the bad behavior at his company, to Xbox buying them up and the outrage and, I guess, celebration around it, and general ambivalence from people like us, because Activision only makes Call of Duty these days. But anyways, we today did want to talk about Call of Duty because looking back at the franchise, we are actually fans of COD. Probably, I would say, older fans. But we wanted to take a look back through the series' history and take a look at the best survival modes that they have made so far. So if you enjoy this, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe for more content, and let's hop right into it.
Number 5.
So the first entry is a Zombies entry, and that is actually Infinite Warfare Zombies. Now, this is an offshoot of Call of Duty Zombies, not actually made by Treyarch, but I think specifically something like Zombies in Spaceland actually does have a lot of personality to it. It is very fun. There's things that I think you and I would definitely change in it, but it's a good survival mode for Call of Duty, even though I would argue this is kind of where they start going, well, Advanced Warfare, I guess, before this, but this time period is where they started going a little bit downhill and not actually innovating and coming up with new survival modes, and instead just being like, let's copy Zombies.
Yeah, I mean, Infinite Warfare Zombies is actually kind of fun. Like, the multiplayer in that game is very bad, but the Zombies mode was fun. And you can actually go into, like, an actual arcade and play arcade games, even though it was stupid that they don't, like, pause the zombies for you to play the games.
Yeah, especially on solo play. I don't know what they really expect you to do there.
I don't know, like, and they're like, yeah, you need tickets. We're trying.
Yeah,
but,
basically.
But I don't know. I mean, the overall theme of it is, pretty fun and interesting and unique, I would say.
I really like a lot of stuff in this game. There's also random references to older things. Like I noticed there was I believe a reference to Extinction mode when you're playing the foosball, where you're throwing it and breaking the teeth in the alien. The alien on that looked like one of the aliens from Extinction. So stuff like that. There's a lot of fun little references and Easter eggs in this to previous stuff they've made. I also do like how there's a lot of weapons that focus more around like retro future tech with lasers and stuff without even needing to pack a punch to get those.
Yeah.
So that was kind of unique for this as well, along with that 80s vibe, I thought, too.
And David Hasselhoff was the DJ.
It's certainly not as good, in my opinion, as the Treyarch Zombies modes are. It's very clearly a step below them. But even knockoff Zombies is a pretty fun time because Zombies is so enjoyable.
Right, and I would say this is one of the better ones of the knockoff Zombies. Like, for example, World War II's Zombies, bad. This one actually was kind of fun, which I think is not something that you can actually say for the other knockoff ones either. So, yeah, that's the props I'm giving to Infinite Warfare Zombies.
Number 4. It's the fourth one.
4.
The next one we have is Advanced Warfare's Exo Survival. Now, this is not exactly the most interesting thing ever, I'm going to say. It is, again, very clearly one of the least interesting, proper survival modes named Survival. But I still think it's more innovative and interesting than something like the survival mode in the newest Modern Warfare game. So that's enjoyable too, by the way. But they do at least do some new stuff with this, like incorporating the exo suit from Advanced Warfare. I personally think, and I know I'm in the minority on this, a lot of people think Black Ops 3's movement was better. I personally think that the futuristic movement of Advanced Warfare was probably the most refined to me out of all of the futuristic movement types. When you're looking at the, I guess, future games with jetpacks and other stuff like that, I thought that this game did the best with that. So to incorporate that in with Survival, there is also a Zombies knockoff in this too, but it's not as interesting.
Right, it was okay.
To incorporate that in with Survival was actually pretty cool. And there are some unique features in this too, like being able to max out your waves and then flip the map, and it gets more difficult and starts over.
Probably my favorite aspect about the Exo Survival mode was...
it was the Goliath, right? Those were Goliaths.
Yes, was the Goliaths. They were just so fun. And I thought it was such a unique twist on survival mode, because like what we're going to get into next, but Modern Warfare 3 started with survival mode. And I mean, that was really fun just because how basic it was. But I thought Advanced Warfare did a really good job taking survival mode to the next level. Like, they added in enough stuff that it still felt like survival mode, but it was a bunch of new features and qualities surrounding the game mode, so it felt like something new and fresh.
It also felt more unique from previous survival modes because it was that futuristic middle ground. So the map aesthetics were different, the weapon aesthetics were different, the type of material, I guess like the type of weaponry you were using, whether it be something like the Goliath or just a gun you hold, it feels different enough from what it was in previous, modern day games, since it's futuristic, that it's in an interesting spot between something like modern Call of Duty and Halo. Mm-hmm. It's like it's a middle step. And I thought the aesthetics of that were interesting with it. I will say there are things in this that are not the best ever. Like, this does get very, very repetitive later on. But this game had enough quirky, fun little things in and of itself that actually made this more interesting too, even in the options. Things like turning on paintball mode. Just those small, fun little things that don't seem like a big deal actually did add to the overall aesthetic of the game and make it stand out and feel unique in a line of survival modes that are fairly similar.
Number three.
The next one we have is the OG, the classic Modern Warfare 3 survival mode. This is the standout feature in Modern Warfare 3, I think. Mm-hmm. The campaign is fun, right? But it's
the worst of the three.
I would almost argue it might be the worst of all of the Modern Warfare campaigns. Like 1 through 3 and the reboot.
Wow.
This one might be the least interesting. And also, they make random, silly, edgy choices and get rid of characters that had staying power and...
I like you're avoiding spoilers
well,
for like a 20-year-old game.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, this game really frustrated me with its campaign. But anyways, the ending was awesome. The thing with survival mode is that it actually did change the game. It took the best parts of... I would say Spec Ops missions like Sniper Fi, that sort of survival thing where you're trying to hold your own in an area against waves of enemies, and it made it unlimited. It actually made it so that you had to survive for as long as you could. And that sounds probably like a very simple thing, like a what's so special about this, but this was the first time Call of Duty really did something like this, other than, Zombies. This is the first time it did a with guns against other people with guns, humans survival mode.
Yeah, I thought this was probably the best just survival mode ever. One thing I thought that was so cool about this actually was Modern Warfare 3 has the campaign, it has multiplayer, it has Spec Ops, just like Modern Warfare 2 does. Now, it's not as good, but it does have them. But it also has survival mode too, which I thought was something that was really cool personally, is that they added in this brand new mode. And I think it's pretty cool that you can actually go and buy like kill streaks. You can buy like weapon attachments. You can buy like different guns, obviously, and different sets of like grenades and things
perks.
Like that, and perks.
Yeah, you basically are customizing your character over
in mid-match.
Yeah, mid-match, which I think that added a lot of unique character stuff to the survival concept that we didn't see much of before. I know we did see perks, right?
Yeah.
And we saw Pack-a-Punch and stuff like that before this, obviously. But one of the great things about this was that it was able to incorporate some of those same ideas in a more serious way. This also introduced the idea of being able to play on any multiplayer map in survival. That sounds like something where you're thinking, oh, that should be basic. Yeah, no, that's still not something they do anymore, by the way.
And yeah, in the new Modern Warfare, you only have like 5 maps.
Yeah, there's only certain maps that you can play on.
Like, it's just stupid.
And then even in something like Black Ops Cold War now, you can only do combat training, local play offline, which is essentially combat training, on certain maps.
Yeah.
There's other ones where bots don't even work. They're not programmed, so you just can't do that.
Well, and that was something that I'm glad you brought up, because this was kind of like combat training like the original Black Ops, You know, where it felt like you could just pick any map and then survive, basically. But yeah, I don't know. That mode was like so fun back then, like that type of mode. And then like they even ruined it.
Yeah, they managed to find a way to strip features out of it.
Yeah, they're like, hey, we already have these maps programmed in the game. Let's not put them in this mode.
Yeah, let's not use them. I mean, we're also talking about the same company, though, I guess publisher, that was able to somehow find a way to include bots in Zombies for Black Ops 3, but they couldn't do it for Black Ops Cold War. Oh, I'm sorry, they included it in 4, but they couldn't include it in Cold War. Yeah, I don't know. This is a company that constantly strips features out. You know, it's kind of like Madden, where they'll probably bring it back in a few years and be like, new feature, even though we did it 10 years ago. But I do really like that you are able to play on any multiplayer map, because you know what this means? It means that instead of getting one new map when you buy a map pack, you got all of them. Mm-hmm. So if you bought the first map pack and say it came with 5 maps, you can now play on all of those maps in survival mode.
Right.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. You know, and it still works just as well offline. You can still play it split screen with a friend, or you could play it online. Those servers are still up, at least when we record this in early 2022. So it's great how they did it. It's very basic. I'm sure that looking back at it now, it's not as impressive by today's standards, but it's really sad that this is still one of the better survival modes they made, since it didn't suffer from them stripping features out one at a time over the years.
Number 2, the numero dos.
The next one we have is one that everyone forgets about. I'm gonna say it's games you forgot about. It's a little cameo of my own series here, and that's Call of Duty Ghosts Extinction mode.
What is that? I forgot about it.
Now I know you were gonna ask, why didn't I talk about Squads mode? It's on the back of the box, epic new Squads mode. But you know, I just thought that would be too exciting for this video, and I'd have to shut down production.
I'm already like
on this channel.
half-mast right now.
I'm at 300%, and I'm done. But, you know, the whole thing with Extinction that I thought was great is think Call of Duty Zombies on a more linear map, but with aliens. It's a really neat idea. I mean, now, it's not perfect at all. Again, certainly there's things I'd change. Like, for example, Call of Duty Ghosts just does not play the best in general.
Right.
On any mode. It's kind of a weird middle ground where it kind of feels like it was trying to be Modern Warfare, but it wasn't quite Modern Warfare. The best thing that game has to offer is probably this and its campaign, with like one of its weakest things being multiplayer, which is kind of a yikes.
It also has Stonehaven, the multiplayer map.
That's true.
Which is like one of my favorites of all time.
That is a fun multiplayer map. The thing with Extinction that's great is that you are actually able to go through these maps. They all have stories. They all have different things you can do. You can go in and contribute money to something like an airstrike with your friends. You actually get optional objectives that when you do them, you then get more points. And again, you can kind of upgrade your character as you go, where you're getting higher tiers of like a improvised explosive device, like an IED that you can put up, or a turret, or whatever.
Yeah, I thought this was a nice, different mode other than just zombies. I mean, basically is zombies. It's just you're fighting aliens, which it kind of reminded me of like a newer game, Alien Fireteam Elite, kind of a thing. But I think it's kind of weird that no one really talks about Extinction that much, because, well, I think Zombies is better. Extinction is definitely a very good new thing, or a different thing, I should say. It's not new anymore, obviously. But one of the coolest things about this, I thought, was just the story modes that you can play through as you're going through. So it kind of, and they weren't hard story modes. Like the Treyarch Zombies is like hard Easter eggs. Like you're there for 10 hours kind of thing. This one actually was something that felt doable.
Yeah, as long as you're playing with friends, I would say, I mean, I'm sure someone can solo it. I don't know. I can't.
I solo myself.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. I would also solo you. But one of the things that I really like about this is that, yes, it is beatable. It's not unlimited. Like, you can essentially reach an end point and feel like you completed it. This is sort of Call of Duty Aliens campaign. That's actually a neat idea.
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
And there's certainly things that could have been better about it. Like, obviously, the overall graphics of Ghosts were not the best. Some of the performance issues in the game dragged it down a bit, just stuff like that. But I do think that this was sadly one of the more unique things that they made, and the reason why it's frustrating is that they never went back to this idea. You know, one of the things that I really appreciate of the old Call of Duty survival stuff was experimentation.
Yeah.
They actually tried something different. And yes, sometimes it didn't connect with everyone.
Like squads.
Yes. But they made these different modes. They made things that actually made the games feel unique. Now, whenever you buy a Call of Duty game, and I know some people are going to say good to this, but if you actually think about it, what do you get? Just zombies.
And also probably like 14 different game additions into Warzone.
Yeah, that's true. And it sounds like a lot, but most of that stuff is marred by needing online connectivity. It essentially is stuff where you are going to lose features over time, and it doesn't have much innovation. It's just sad to me that this is one of the more unique things that they actually tried and experimented on and did good stuff with. They made good maps. Nobody remembers it. Nobody talks about it. Activision themselves pretends it doesn't really exist outside of an Easter egg here or there, and they don't want to go back to this anymore because all they want to do is zombies every single year. You know, it used to be something that you looked forward to with a Treyarch game.
Yeah.
And with the rest of the games, you got something different. Mm-hmm. And now you don't even get that anymore.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that, to me, if you kind of think about all the COD games, all the ones pre-Black Ops 3, Black Ops 3 included in this, there's always something unique to that game that someday down the road when the servers get shut down, most of those have something unique that you can go on and go do. Modern Warfare 2 has the Spec Ops missions, which were a blast. Modern Warfare 3 has survival mode. Black Ops has combat training, you know, so on. But now it's like, now with like Vanguard or Cold War or something like that, if the servers ever get shut down for those, and let's say you don't want to play the campaign, what are you going to play? A bad Zombies on Vanguard? Because I'd rather just go play Black Ops 3 Zombies.
Yeah, a nerfed, worse, probably unpatched at that point, version of Call of Duty Zombies.
Yeah, like it's just, I don't know. To me, that's the sad thing about new versus old COD is old COD, every single game, kind of like you said, felt unique. There was always a special feature on that game, something for you to do outside of just the campaign and multiplayer that was different. Mm-hmm. You know, Modern Warfare 3 was a different experience than Modern Warfare 2. If I was doing something besides campaign and multiplayer, I'd put in Modern Warfare 2 for the Spec Ops. I'd go to Modern Warfare 3 for the survival mode. I'd go to Ghost for Extinction. Nowadays it's just, okay, I don't even want Vanguard because I've already played the campaign, multiplayer shut down, and I'm not playing this bad Zombies.
Right.
Like, it's just, I don't know, to me it's just sad that they aren't willing to experiment.
Yeah.
Kind of like what they did with Extinction.
Number 1!
Splat.
So the final one, of course, is Call of Duty Zombies, and we are talking about the Treyarch version of COD Zombies. Now, probably for Nate and I, this is pre-Cold War. I'm not saying Cold War Zombies is bad.
Yeah, I've actually played it. It is fun.
It is fun. But, you know, I think that we like that old Zombies timeline. Mm-hmm. The classic with the Primus, the Ultimus. Obviously, there was also, I always forget their name, the team from Transit.
I don't remember their name.
I'm blanking on it right now. But there were all these different teams and story modes. And they, you know, they messed some stuff up with this.
Yeah.
Like, for example, introducing new characters in something like Black Ops 4, and then Borderline, well, I guess really never using them again. Mm-hmm. You know, just kind of writing them out and stuff. But this was the classic wave-based zombie survival mode. It was a fluke. You know, this was a fluke in World at War. It was supposed to be a fun little extra thing. They did not expect it to be a big deal at all. And they lucked into basically $1 billion part of this franchise, which is interesting when you actually look into the story behind Zombies and how it happened. It was really just supposed to be a little epilogue, fun Easter egg type game mode. That was it.
Yeah.
Just like a little, oh, yeah, that's fun. Distraction. And it turned into this huge phenomenon to the point where now, for better or worse, and we think it's worse, but every single survival mode is now basically zombies.
The Treyarch Zombies is just the classic stuff. I mean, this stuff is amazing. You know, the sad thing about Black Ops 4, though, Zombies mode is I thought it was fun. Like, yeah. I really liked it. And I liked the characters. Now, I didn't like Shaw, but I liked the characters. I like the maps. I like the weapons. I liked a lot of the perks. They weren't as good as in 3, but I liked them.
We like being able to upgrade weapons.
Yeah, I like that too.
There was good character customization.
I thought it was great. It's just sad that they never did anything with that. But the Black Ops 3 with the Zombies Chronicles, that was like peak COD.
Yeah.
You basically got every single map. Now, it didn't have Buried or Transit, which I still find annoying. Or Nuketown Zombies, but I didn't really care that much about that. But
no, I don't either.
But it had all the great classic maps on it. And there's so many good ones, too. Like, you can pull up Black Ops 3 Zombies, and I can't think of one bad... Like, even something like Nuketown Zombies is at least enjoyable.
It's
not the best, but...
Yeah, the only sad thing to me is that there's only one of those games that has bots.
Yeah.
So in the future, say... I suppose you could do... I'm sure there's still a way to do this. Someone's going to laugh at me because I don't know what it would be off the top of my head. I'm sure you could still set up a LAN connection and do like a system link type local network thing to play. Like how you used to be able to do a system link between 360s, or how you could set up a LAN internet that is local to your house and then play multiplayer with someone else in your house. But my point that I'm getting at is eventually, when you hit the point where these servers do shut down, because it will happen, you are hitting a point where something like Black Ops 3 Zombies, unless you are Jesus reincarnated of the Treyarch Zombies, which I know some people online are, you're not going to beat these things. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're going to get a little ways in and get killed. And so it kind of does make me sad that with how great this mode is, there's only one version of it with good game preservation on it, and that's Black Ops 4. Right. Which is arguably one of the weakest versions of that Treyarch Zombies.
Yeah. Yeah, it is kind of sad. Like, I think they should go back and patch that in, but they're not going to at this point.
No, they never will. They don't care. It's frustrating, but like these maps, man, they're amazing. Even something like Kino.
Yeah, Kino's awesome.
Kino's amazing. Even Noct, like you said, the worst. I mean, Noct and Kino aren't the worst, but if you look at it, even the worst of the Treyarch maps are still really fun. And I think that this did sort of reinvigorate an interest in zombies in gaming, again, for better or worse. Because I think a lot of games were like, we need to throw zombies in here now, people like COD. And that was annoying. But this actually was a cultural phenomenon, something people bought Call of Duty for, there are still people buying Call of Duty for this now. That's why it's now in every game. Again, I wish it wasn't, but that's why it is. This has had a lot of lasting impact on the franchise.
Yeah, I remember back in the day when Black Ops came out and you had Kino. Do you remember this? How, like, big of an impact this was on society?
Yes.
Like, everyone, all they ever talked about and played was Kino.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. Treyarch Zombies is special. Like, this is one of my top, like, 5 favorite video game things.
It's certainly the best survival mode.
Yeah.
By a landslide. So anyway, this is kind of our list of the best survival modes in Call of Duty. I would say that we like all of these to different varying degrees. I do wish that they would go back and experiment again. Like I said, I think it would make it more unique. Not to just focus on zombies, especially because Treyarch as a company, if you look at what they have to do, they are stretched really thin. That's one of the reasons why I think they're not able to put as much polish and shine on stuff anymore. I don't know, I'm interested to hear your thoughts down below. What are some of your favorites? Do you like any of these other than zombies? Maybe there's one you like more. Please be sure to let us know in the comments down below. Check out the links in the description. We have our secondary channel, Degenerate Plays, where we play different games together and hang out with you, and all the social medias and everything, along with a fantastic Etsy shop, Enchanted Glamor, that my wife Jill runs, where we have a lot of different cool stuff for sale, and that stuff goes to help support the channel as well. So I appreciate you very, very much. Have a fantastic day, and as always, everyone, stay shway.